Hey guys, what's going on? Hermdo back with you. We're just chilling out today. We're having some fun. We're just doing whatever, man, whatever. Um, I got some conspiracy shit I want to look at. Oh, let's get off of that. Oh, I'm just looking at some stuff here. Here we go. Conspiracies and all that fun stuff. Um, yeah. All right. Yeah, let's check this shit out. Do. Okay, got a good connection. Okay. Okay. But yeah, let's just check out some TikTok conspiracies and go from there. It's a beautiful day. Let's pop a Zin. I got some wintergreen 6 milligram. Picked this up yesterday. I've been vaping all fucking day. Let's have some fucking Zin. Mmm. The Zin is in. The Zin is in. All right, let's check out some conspiracies on TikTok. Get into this shit. Let's see where this leads us in my dirty Detroit Tigers hat. All right.
Like I say, in 1945, the reptilians, they realized that they couldn't leave, they couldn't break the dome. All the missiles they always shoot when they show you NASA sending fucking space shuttles up into space. No, they don't. They be curving. Go do a little research. They curve. They rotate the camera away from you right before it curves. They can't crack the dome. They talk about in their Bible, go read Genesis. And he separated the waters above from the waters below and placed a firmament between them. That's them talking about the electromagnetic field that was locked around the plane after they landed and hijacked it.
Clip of Lost. What the fuck does that say? Clip of Lost Man exposing truth about dome under which we live. The firmament. I've heard about this before. Let's do some firmament. Biblical cosmology of the firmament, Hebrew, is a vast solid dome created by God during the Genesis creation narrative. It separates waters above, presumably atmospheric and celestial waters, from the waters below, the Earth's oceans and seas. The firmament is often depicted as a solid, possibly metallic barrier or expanse separating the earthly realm from the heavens. Separation of waters. The primary function of the firmament is to divide the waters above from the waters below, creating the sky, and allowing dry land to appear. Some interpretation of the firmament was a solid dome-like structure potentially made of hard, transparent material like ice or glass, forming a barrier between the earth and heavenly realms. Interesting stuff. Yeah. What exactly is the firmament described in Genesis? Flat Earth, a friend of mine used to justify his FE stance. In the ancient Near East, it was believed that the blue of the sky was actually a giant body of water held aloft by an invisible barrier, what we refer to in English as the firmament. The firmament, in its cultural context, referred to a vault or expanse that was believed to separate the waters above from the waters below, and God made the firmament, so divided the waters which are under the firmament from the waters which are above the firmament, and it was so. The concept of the firmament was based in Near Eastern cosmology, which held that the sky was a solid dome or sphere that arched over the flat Earth. Damn it, sorry. Zin is making me cough. The cosmology was common to the ancient Near East, was shared by many cultures, including the Israelites. In this worldview, the sky was seen as a physical barrier that separated the earthly and heavenly realms. Let's watch this guy talking about this shit again.
Like I say, in 1945, the reptilians, they realized that they couldn't leave, they couldn't break the dome. All the missiles they always shoot.
I'm assuming he's talking about the firmament here. 1945 reptilians. Let's see if that makes any reptilians. The aliens land on Earth in 1945. A defense bill seeks answer. The Defense Department's annual spending bill requires it to review UFO sightings dating to 1945, the year some believe an object from space crashed in the New Mexico desert. For the casual student of UFO history, the modern idea of life beyond our planet usually dates to 1947 when a top secret U.S. military balloon crashed in the desert near Roswell, New Mexico. The wreckage prompted decades of conspiracy theories and gave rise to the idea that Roswell is the site of an alien crash landing. Now, thanks to a new congressional spending bill, UFO enthusiasts may look to 1945 as the beginning of that era. The amendment tucked into this year's $858 billion National Defense Authorization Act, which funds the Defense Department's annual operation budget, requires the department to review historical documents related to unidentified aerial phenomena, government lingo for UFOs dating 1945 this year that, according to one account, a large avocado-shaped object struck a communication tower in the Apache, New Mexico desert, now known as the Trinity site where the world's first atomic bomb was detonated that July. Experts say the bill, which President Biden signed into law in December, would be a game changer for studying unidentified phenomena. The American public can reasonably expect to get some answers to questions that have been burning in the minds of billions of Americans for many years, said Christopher Mellon, a former Deputy Assistant Secretary for Defense for Intelligence. If nothing else, this should either clear up something that's been a cloud hanger on the Air Force and Department of Defense for decades, or might lead in another direction, which could truly be incredible. That's a lot at stake. So is that what this guy's talking about? This 1945 UFO crash? Is that what he means? I don't know.
When they show you NASA sending fucking space shuttles up into space, no they don't. They be curving. Go do a little research. They curve. They rotate the camera away from you right before it curves.
Okay, hang on. Space shuttle curve. Okay. Space shuttle launches follow curved trajectory, not a straight vertical one, because they need to achieve orbit, which requires horizontal velocity as well as vertical altitude. The curved path is achieved through the maneuver called the gravity turn, or zero lift turn, where the rocket gradually tilts, using gravity to help change direction and conserve fuel. Let's see if there's a footage of this. Why rockets don't fly straight up. Okay.
Have you ever watched a rocket launch and wondered why it doesn't just go straight up into the sky? It might seem like that's the most logical path, but there's actually a very good reason why rockets launch with a curved trajectory. In this video, we'll explore the science behind it and see why a curved trajectory is actually more efficient for reaching space. To understand why rockets launch with a curved trajectory, we first need to talk about the Earth's atmosphere. When a rocket takes off from the ground, it has to travel through the layers of our planet's atmosphere. This includes the troposphere.
Yeah, there's different layers to the atmosphere. Oh, let me turn that down a little bit. There's different layers to the atmosphere. There's a troposphere, and then there's other layers that are higher. And I guess this guy's suggesting that these rockets don't go straight up, they curve, when this YouTube video is pretty much confirming it. I'm not saying this is part of some conspiracy or something. This guy seems to think that, I don't know, I think this guy's confused a little bit. I'm digging into it. I'm not sure what this guy's trying to say. It's interesting stuff. I guess let's go. Let's watch a little bit more of this and see where this guy's going. But this is a short video, so
extends from the surface up to about 8 to 15 kilometers. That's 5 to 9 miles. And the stratosphere, which is above the troposphere, and extends up to about 50 kilometers or 30 miles. As the rocket rises higher and higher, the air becomes thinner and thinner. This means that there's less resistance or drag on the rocket as it moves through the atmosphere. However, the air is still thick enough in the lower layers of the atmosphere to create some drag on the rocket. Now, let's talk about the principle of conservation of energy. In physics, this principle...
Shout out Voodoo Ranger, just killed one of these bad boys. Voodoo Ranger, Juice Force, good stuff, 9.5 APV. I'm taking off myself. I'm taking off on a curved trajectory, baby.
States that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only converted from one form to another. This means that when a rocket takes off, it has a certain amount of energy that it needs to reach its destination in space. If that rocket were to go straight up, it would have to use a lot more of its energy to fight against the drag from the air in the lower atmosphere. This would cause the rocket to slow down, which would require even more energy to accelerate back up again. This back and forth process would be
you can see it curving right there,
and it would use up a lot.
Yeah,
of the
it's definitely at an angle.
Fuel. So why do rockets launch with a curved trajectory instead of going straight up? By following a curved path, the rocket can take advantage of the Earth's rotation. As the rocket lifts off, it follows a path that is slightly tilted to the east. This allows it to ride on the Earth's surface, which is moving at a speed of about 1,600.
I don't know what this guy's talking about. He says they cut the camera right before it starts to curve. It's curving on camera. All these things, all these space shuttle launches, I haven't watched too many of them. But yeah, you see the curved trajectory. This guy, I think this guy is out to lunch here.
They can't crack the dome. They talk about in their Bible, go read Genesis. And he separated the waters above from the waters.
So the dude in the video is saying, the other YouTube video, the guy's explaining this curvature. He's saying that because of the gravity or because of the atmosphere being thicker, these rockets need to curve because to go straight up require too much energy, require too much force. And Yeah, so let's finish this video up. 12 more seconds left.
Below and place the firmament between them. That's them talking about the electromagnetic field that was locked around the plane after they landed and hijacked it. Like I say, in 19...
Okay, what plane is he talking about here? I don't know. I have no idea what he's talking about. The same bloodlines that ruled the world for centuries. It's not politics, it's blood, symbols, and ancient. Oh, brother. Here we go. Let's check out what... Okay, let's watch the rest of this video just to get some more info.
Kilometers per hour due to the planet's rotation. By following this path, the rocket can use the Earth's own momentum to help it reach higher altitudes. This means that it doesn't have to work as hard to fight against the drag in the lower atmosphere, and it can conserve more of its energy. To see the benefits of a curved trajectory in action, let's look at some real-life examples. The Saturn V rocket, which was used to launch the Apollo missions to the moon, followed a curved trajectory as it lifted off from Earth. By using this technique, the Saturn V was able to reach an altitude of about 113 kilometers or 70 miles and a speed of about 8,500 kilometers per hour in just 8 minutes. Another example is the space shuttle, which also follows a curved trajectory during launches. By using this technique, the space shuttle was able to reach an altitude of about 200 kilometers or 125 miles and a speed of 28,000 kilometers an hour in just 8.5 minutes. So, there you have it. That's why rockets launch with a curved trajectory. By following this path, they can take advantage of the Earth's rotation and conserve more of their energy, which allows them to reach higher altitudes and faster.
Yeah, the guy in the TikTok video seemed to think that this is because of the firmament or some force field, or as it was described, some shield around the Earth. It couldn't launch straight up, but this guy kind of explains that's a bunch of bullshit. So I'm going to call this debunked. I think the guy was just running his mouth, but still, you see that kind of shit on TikTok. I'm just going through these one after another. Let's see what else we can look up here. Anyways, this guy's talking about Justin Bieber.
What was Justin trying to tell us? Hashtag yummy.
Here's what I want to ask. Yummy. What does that mean exactly?
My sex life.
Okay. That's what I thought it was.
My sex life. My sex life.
My sex life.
Do you know who Monica Lewinsky is? Listen to this poem that
She sucked Bill Clinton's dick.
she wrote John F. Kennedy Jr. when she was 9.
And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but the poem is a poignant rumination on how, quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of topping. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, 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 yum.
Could that be the origins to the pizza talk?
They'll name 3 names for your lady parts.
Mini moves, a JJ, and a pizza.
Pizza.
Ooh, Pizzagate. You know what? I got in trouble for talking about Pizzagate. Let's look up Justin Bieber yummy. Justin Bieber yummy. I'm not accusing anybody of being any kind of pervert or anything like that. Okay, so this is a song from 2020. Why did Justin Bieber make Yummy? Yummy is not about Diddy. Justin comments the song is inspired by his sex life with his wife, 2020. The song's primary writer, Prue Bear, said his inspiration for writing Yummy was the keyword for breastfeeding his daughter, 2024. You guys believe the stuff about the Yummy music video? I disliked the song before and only saw the video today. The comment section that appears now doesn't seem like it's filled with the most level-headed individuals. But I won't lie, that ending, the dramatic visual of audio effects kind of got me. That it's not normal to just be in a music video. What do you guys think? Yeah, so many people in YouTube videos, essays, commentators regarding it, explaining this theory was uploaded, and now they're deleted. Unfortunately, they explained it very well watching it. I do believe it. Okay. Interesting. Justin Bieber Yummy. The hidden Diddy reference to Justin Bieber's video.
It's hard for me
being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn.
And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Diddy was one of Justin Bieber's mentors in the music industry when he was young and just starting out. But now fans are doing a dive into his music and are linking it to Diddy. For example, online fans are convinced that Justin's music video for his song Yummy is a reference to Diddy's crazy parties where a lot of crimes took place. Now, the music video was posted in 2020.
Diddy just got off. Diddy exonerated. Yeah. Diddy received standing ovation from fellow inmates after the jury found rapper Sean Diddy Combs was not fully exonerated, but he's acquitted of the most serious charge in this trial. He was found not guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charge, which carry the potential of a life sentence. However, he was convicted of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Okay. It means he faces the prostitution charge, but has avoided most severe penalties associating with other charges. The sentencing date is set for October 3rd. Diddy partially acquitted in sex trafficking trial, denied release. Sean Diddy Combs was found not guilty. Oh, for fuck's sake. God damn it. All right. But we get, was P. Diddy found innocent? Yeah. Experience found guilty of transporting individuals for prostitution. So he could still get in some trouble, still could be facing some jail time. He's not been released yet. So, I don't know, this is all...
And many people have called out how weird it was, but now they're connecting the dots to Diddy, and it's all making sense to them. One user on TikTok speculated on the meaning of the video, linking it to Diddy's infamous white parties. User AlexisMay.xo explained that the video starts with Justin arriving at a party full of the rich and full elites, while a band of young people serve as the entertainment, playing a symphony of instruments on stage. Justin sits at a table that's covered in food, and he's brought a silver platter with a sandwich on it. Now, the user thinks that this was arranged in a specific way. Look at the placement of the bread. The bread is set up like a shield almost, the TikTok user said. If you take a closer look at the sandwich, there's actually a cherry there, so the bread is set up to protect the cherry. She continued, saying Justin's innocence is represented by the cherry, and it's how he was before he had Diddy as a mentor. Later, the sandwich resembles a face with a tungsten.
You know, Diddy jumped all over Justin Bieber. You know, he was just like, immediately, the guy had that song on YouTube, Baby, or whatever the fuck that was called. One of the most disliked songs in the history of YouTube. Everybody hated Justin Bieber. All the millennials, I mean, I know he's a millennial guy. Everybody thought he was gay. Everybody thought he was lame. But he's one of those guys, you know, clearly, you know, the negativity got to him in some way. But, you know, Diddy clearly saw a guy who could be like a protege of his and kind of leapt in and snatched the dude up and kind of involved him on all this other shit. Interesting stuff, honestly. Interesting stuff. But I'll give you guys a better view of my hoodie, my cool Tigers hoodie. But yeah, so I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to make of this, but apparently there's some symbology in this music video. He was saying that maybe he was groomed by Diddy or something like that. If the courts find him innocent, you know, there's still a lot of things going on. There's still a lot of stuff happening with this case.
Sticking out, and the cherry appears to be rotten, the TikToker said. As the party continues and the lights go down, dancers dressed in skimpy white clothing emerge from under the tables, eerily resembling Diddy's notorious white parties, the creator claimed. This is a white party. This is a P. Diddy white party, she says. Now, as the party ends, a lone Justin Bieber is left at the table looking distraught before a cleared plate is shown featuring a photo of him as a child, symbolizing his innocence,
Yo,
the TikToker says. She then posted a
That's pretty explicit right there, man. That's pretty much, that you draw your own conclusions with that kind of shit, you know. Was this guy like used and abused? I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, let's see Justin Bieber today. Yeah, but you see the guy, he just looks used up. I mean, I don't want to be mean to the guy, but you know, clearly he's seen some shit, you know, he's been going through it, you know, and now people are saying like he might be divorcing his wife, Haley, all that shit. But this guy, you know, looks like fucking, He's all tatted up. He's been through some shit, man. Justin Bieber. Look at the tats, man. That shit's crazy. He's got all sorts of stuff on him. Lion, some Roman numerals, the cross, eye on his left arm. That's crazy.
Second clip analyzing even more details and pointed out by viewers.
You gotta wonder how much this is actually like a wink and a nod to like conspiracy guys or guys that put this kind of stuff together. You know, you really have to wonder like how much of this is like a cry for help. Is this like Justin trying to tell us that P. Diddy preyed on him? You know, yeah, I have to. It's some wild stuff, man. Definitely some wild stuff. But I don't want to get too far into those conspiracies. You know, all these people involved in this, you know, have their own like, you know, conspiracies about them. All sorts of stuff's going on, and people have been talking about this left and right. But you know, it's just we see how this goes. We see, you know, some people. You got to really wonder how much of this is like specifically designed to like elicit emotion from you in a way. You know, it's just. I mean, I don't think any of this is accidental. You know, this is a professionally produced music video. Are they actually like suggesting things with the director of this video trying to like suggest things about Justin or about P. Diddy? You got to wonder about that kind of stuff.
Ranging from claims about the true identity of a violin player shown in the music video to the meaning behind the other foods that appear. Now, viewers also brought up the fact that Justin had an emotional breakdown while filming the music video. Justin addressed the yummy shoot in an episode of his docuseries Justin Bieber Seasons. It was just a lot of people, a lot of dynamic, a lot of stuff, Justin said. I was in my head a lot and it's hard for me to really enjoy it like that, but I know that some days are just gonna be like that. In any workspace, there's gonna be those off days where you just kind of feel like, I got a good crew, I should be good, but today I just feel off. I think that day I was just a little off. Again though, viewers are convinced that this video has a secret meaning in relation to Diddy. I mean, Diddy was one of Justin's mentors and he spent a lot of time with him from a young age. Now, Justin was known to attend some of Diddy's parties, but I guess the question is, did he choose to go or was he forced to? Now, a lot of creepy videos of Justin and Diddy have been coming to light recently, but there's one that particularly stands out.
This is from 8 months ago. Think of all the shit that's been going on for the last 8 months. Most disturbing Diddy moments because of what we know now. Okay, let's get into that in a
Justin
minute.
was spending 48 hours with Diddy. Here's having 48 hours with Diddy where we hang out and what we're doing we can't really disclose, Diddy says in the video. But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. He's signed to Usher and I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album, and he added, I don't have legal guardianship of him, aka Justin, but for the next 48 hours he's with me and we're gonna go full crazy. Now this is just extremely weird in general, but hey, maybe Justin used his music video to depict what he went through in these 48 hours. Now, I just want to know though what his mother was thinking leaving him alone with Diddy for that long. Then there was also the time that Diddy literally scolded Justin on national TV. In 2011, Diddy and Justin made an appearance on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, where Diddy was constantly praising Justin, but when Jimmy asked Justin if Diddy had given him any gifts, things got awkward to say the least. Justin said, he got me a Lamborghini, I haven't gotten it yet though, and Diddy then said the Lamborghini for a day or two, he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Everything ain't for everybody. Yeah, it was just really weird, and I'm sure Justin felt like he got in trouble because that's how it came across. Now, Justin has not directly spoken out against Diddy, but an insider speaking exclusively to DailyMail.com said that Justin has been completely thrown by the allegations and is trying to make sense of them as he and Diddy were so close. I mean, Justin collaborated with Diddy less than a year ago. They are very well still in
That's gotta be weird because you don't want to expose too much about this guy because you're worried about your own career. You're worried about the connections Diddy has. Like, who could he know? Could you possibly be putting your life and career at risk, like talking about this kind of stuff? But also, he's got to want to like expose this crap because if he's been, hurt or taken advantage of in any way, you want people to know about that kind of stuff. You want people to know, hey, I've been hurt by this guy. This guy's a creep. This guy's a weirdo. Hell, save me from him. At the same time, it's just like, you kind of see it in the way he acts, the way he talks, the way he looks. Justin Bieber is definitely a different guy, but he's been in show business almost 2 decades now. He got it when he was super young, got signed by Diddy almost immediately. Diddy got his hooks in him early. And, you just see like guys like this. It's like the whole Epstein fiasco all over again. We'll talk about that a little bit too. But, yeah.
Contact. Now, the insider added that Justin also deeply regrets having collaborated with him so recently, and that he would never done that had he known the allegations that have since come to light. So do you believe that Justin was trying to send a secret message in his music video? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host, Emily, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, interesting stuff. Let's get into this stuff. Watch Mojo.
What's one misconception about you?
There are no misconceptions about me.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at moments involving Sean P. Diddy Combs that feel disturbing in the wake of his 2024 arrest and indictment, among other things.
So if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
Diddy parties. Over the years, numerous celebrities have praised Diddy parties, from LeBron James to Ben Stiller in the Bad Boys for Life music video.
Listen, if you're having one of your crazy house party things.
Hang on a second. Let me check something out real quick. Hold on a second. Let's do this. Oh, that's why I search some stuff. Here we go. Definitely trending. Check out some stuff on Twitter. Let's check out this video from Diddy talking about like some ways Diddy may have been like giving up the game or like exposing himself or like confessing these things on Watch Mojo.
Shot me a holler down.
In a 2005 VMAs ad, Derek Jeter, Nicole Richie, the Yin Yang Twins, and Fat Joe reflected on their experiences at Diddy parties, portraying them as can't-miss events. Given the recent descriptions of Combs' alleged freak-off parties, these celebrity testimonies come across as insensitive in retrospect.
It's hard to say which is more off the hook, a Diddy party or a Diddy after party, or a Diddy after party, which is basically a pre-party for the next Diddy party.
Combs' accounts of his parties.
There's some wild stuff, man.
In a
Good Lord.
resurfaced video, Combs films a seemingly passed-out DJ named James as another guest places a drink on his head. Whether joking or not, Combs' claim that he puts white guys to sleep at his parties has taken on a more alarming meaning.
For all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man.
Okay, what happens?
It's so unfortunate.
Usher sees, quote, very curious things. Usher lived with Combs for about a year during his early teens.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right?
In a 2016 appearance on The Howard Stern Show, Usher recounted his time in New York with Combs. Usher recalled several names like Biggie Smalls and Lil' Kim dropping by as parties raged into the early morning.
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
While Usher claims he stayed up later than Combs.
You gotta wonder, like, the kind of price these like young guys pay, like getting involved in the business at this level. You have to wonder, like, what have they been exposed to? What have they seen? And how much of this stuff, are they like sworn to secrecy about? It's just, there's got to be, you got to wonder, there has to be something happening in regards to this kind of shit. You have to just wonder, like, what the hell is actually going on involving this stuff? All these guys, all these producers and these artists getting their claws into all this young talent, Usher, Justin Bieber, all these other people. God knows what other people have seen in this industry and how to get to the top. We got a question like, what have Taylor Swift and like Beyonce seen? Now those two are like revered as like pop idol gods. They're billionaires. They walk the earth. It's like freaky how much influence these people have. They're talking about like Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala might swing the election to the Democrats. That's how much influence they have. Obviously it didn't happen, but still the fact that that's like a realistic thing, But you got to wonder, like, what do you sell of yourself? What do you give away of yourself to attain that level of fame? How much, how much of your soul do you have to sell to get that famous? It's crazy. It's just like you just ride a wave, you find a niche, you find a target audience, you find people that will follow you to the ends of the earth. You just capitalize it to a point where you're a multi-billionaire and you're making $500,000 on these $500 million on these tours. It's wild stuff.
And his crew, he wasn't sure if he could, quote, indulge in some of the activities taking place. Although Usher didn't entirely understand everything going on, Combs's lifestyle was clearly, quote, wild, quote, crazy, and, quote, curious. When asked if he would ever send his kids to, quote, Puffy Camp, Usher gave a firm no.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Usher said this with a laugh, but the allegations that have come out since have piqued our curiosity. Get him to the Greek. As funny as this 2010 comedy was upon release, it's hard to rewatch without thinking about how problematic several cast members have become.
It's better that you've apologized.
Oh yeah, Russell Brand. There's so many guys out there. You know, Russell Brand and all these other comedians. There's a comedian named Brian Callen. He's been accused of some pretty heinous stuff. All these guys make like right-wing pivots. Now Russell Brand is like a Christian nationalist or some shit. He's like kissing up to like the right because he's been exposed as being like some kind of predator or something. And it's just funny. Now we got all these people like your Charlie Kirks and your Benny Johnsons like apologizing for him and shit because this guy who was famous like 15 years ago and he made this YouTube channel talking about like how the overlords, the left-wing communist, whatever overlords are taking everything over. And he gets into that kind of shit. You appeal to the right to get out of the shit. I'm surprised P. Diddy didn't come out and try to be like a conservative for a while. You know, he didn't take a Kanye turn and become like some weird right-winger. It plays out like this so often. You see all these tactics they use over and over again. And it gets kind of exhausting. It gets kind of tiring because you're just so used to seeing this shit.
Because now we can start to rebuild.
In 2023, two women, one being his ex-girlfriend, accused Jonah Hill of abusive behavior. The same year, Russell Brand's history of sexual assault accusations caught up to him. Then there's Combs, who played hot-headed record producer Sergio Roma.
Oh, y'all think this meeting is for me? No, this meeting is not for me, it's for y'all. See, I'm gonna be all right. I'm straight. I got villas in Brazil, Tahiti, East Hampton, West Hampton. Sergio gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, Aziz Ansari.
Brazil, Tahiti, East Hampton.
Aziz Ansari. He got Me Too'd as well. There were some rumors. I don't think anything was founded. Apparently he did some inappropriate things with one of his fans or something. But yeah, there's all these people in there have gotten rung up for being like perverts in Hollywood. Some of it's fair, some of it's not fair. If you get caught up in it, you know, Aziz Ansari, he was one of the biggest stars of the 2010s. And now he's like doing nothing. He's like done in Hollywood because of these allegations and shit. These people know shit, man. This is all interconnected. All these people, you know, Justin Bieber tied to Diddy, Diddy in this movie, Russell Brand, you know, Jonah Hill, all these fucking people. They've all been accused of doing stuff. This is all just one big network of like predators, man. I mean, not to be accusatory, but it's like, it seems that way. Definitely. It seems like all these guys know each other in some weird way.
In West Hampton, Sergio gonna be fine.
While the character was likely intended as a self-aware send-up of Combs's bombastic persona, it might have hit closer to home than the filmmakers realized. In one notable scene, a whacked-out Sergio goes on a rampage, chasing Hill and Brand's characters down a hallway.
Where you going? Run all the way back to LA!
Nowadays, when we think of Combs running down a hallway, an infamous video involving Cassie Ventura immediately comes to mind. Quote, "I'm a savage." Combs' YouTube channel posted multiple videos building hype for the 2007.
Yeah. All right. Let's take it easy on the P. Diddy stuff. Let's delve. Hold on 1 second. Let me look some stuff up here. Epstein. Oh, lordy. Okay. Candace Owens. We got some stuff. Let's check out what Asmongold. Actually, first off, let's see what people on Twitter have to say about this stuff. This photo is funny in hindsight. What the fuck were they thinking holding up Epstein files if they have nothing? I remember this from a few months ago. That's from CoffeeZilla. So I have to believe that the guard fell asleep, the cameras broke, Epstein killed himself, Maxwell never talked. The key witness committed suicide earlier this year. Bondi has tons of information, a whole minute of footage to remove the tapes. Now there is no list. Okay, sure. Epstein was arrested on Trump's watch, died under Trump's watch, and the cover-up on Trump's watch. Please explain. I can't believe I served more time in federal prison for moving a lectern than any of the Epstein's clients. I'm going to tell kids this was Epstein Island. It's a picture of Washington, D.C. Do not stop talking about Epstein. It rattles him. Yeah, Trump has went on to say, Trump Epstein. Trump comes to Bondi's defense amidst uproar from case. Yeah. Why is MAGA angry with Trump and Pam Bondi over Epstein files? Apparently Trump was trying to like quash this shit. He was trying to like distract from it or like say, it's like, it's not a big deal. The Epstein thing is not a big deal. I don't know why people keep bringing it up. I don't know why everybody's so angry, but he's like going on about that. On Tuesday, the United States President Donald Trump and U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi evaded question from reporters on the recent government review by the accused sex trafficker and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Federal Bureau of Investigation and the U.S. Department of Justice DOJ concluded that Epstein died by suicide in 2019 in a Manhattan jail cell. However, questions are coming from right-wing conspiracy theorists, many of whom are part of Trump's MAGA base, who have been long posted widely circulated conspiracy claims that Epstein was murdered because he possessed sexually compromised material on powerful figures on the client list. Yeah. Why have MAGA conspiracies about Epstein resurfaced now? I can think of a few reasons. Memo released by Monday, both Justice Department and the FBI stated the government review had found no evidence that Epstein had a specific secret client list. So why the hell is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? What the fuck are we doing? They really think you're stupid. They really think you're dumb. Someone was referred that Epstein had died by suicide. The conclusion is consistent with previous findings. Now, the camera outside Epstein's jail cell didn't work. Everybody knows this. This is common knowledge. It's not conspiracy, people. This isn't some right-wing MAGA conspiracy. Regular people are talking about this shit. Epstein didn't kill himself was a meme you would see all over the place. All these normie people were talking about this shit. This is out in the open. The public knows about this shit, including the August 19th, 2019 autopsy findings of the New York City Office and the Chief Medical Examiner, the November 2019 position of the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York in connection with the investigation of federal correctional officers responsible for guarding Epstein, and the June 2023 conclusion of the DOJ's Office of the Inspector General. However, right-wing Americans and online sleuths have long posed conspiracy theories that the government covered up the truth of Epstein's death. The latest memo has sparked these back into action. Besides the memo, the DOJ released a video on Monday of Epstein's jail cell on the night he died, showing that no one entered the Epstein's jail cell during the night. In the video, however, the time code jumps by 1 minute and 2 seconds before midnight, further inflaming the conspiracy theories. Yeah, maybe there's something to this. Look at all these. I'm surprised Al Jazeera is saying this shit, but it's just like everybody's trying to cover up for this shit. I mean, the people need answers. Why is the video skipped? Is there, there has to be something. Who was Ghislaine Maxwell trafficking people to? What's on that island? What the fuck is happening, actually? All this shit. If you're not willing to piss away Trump's presidency or Epstein files, then hand power back to Democrats. You're protecting pedophiles. Yep. Clint Russell, what does that say? Now they are dangling the prosecution of Comey and Brennan to try and make us forget about Epstein. Not going to work.
Breaking news, Brooks Singman of Fox News Digital has discovered exclusively that the FBI is now investigating the former CIA Director John Brennan and the former FBI Director James Comey in conjunction with the genesis of the Russia investigation. This comes after the CIA declassified last week a report into how that all came about. Let's bring in our panel to talk more about this. Annie Linsky, the White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal, USA Today White House correspondent Francesca Chambers, and Josh Holmes, co-host of the Ruthless podcast and former chief of staff to Senator Mitch McConnell. Annie, start us off here. The fact that the FBI is looking into Brennan and Comey now, when this declassified CIA report came out, people said, will prosecutions follow? We don't know if it'll be a prosecution, but it's an investigation at this point.
Yeah, this is certainly the logical next step.
Breaking news.
Okay. Video of Epstein's cell is so grainy you can barely see the missile hit the Pentagon, forcing Building 7 to collapse. Mr. President, yes, we still care about Epstein. Is there a time to not care about child sex trafficking? Read the damn room. In December 2023, Cash Pill said Epstein's black book was under the direct control of the director of the FBI. Anyone remind me the current director of the FBI is? Okay.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is I mean, there's.
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI. Just like the manifesto from the Nashville school shooting of the Catholic school.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen that, right? It's not the Nashville police or PD saying we don't want this out. The FBI airmailed into that operation and said this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation. All these local law enforcement communities get funding from the DOJ and FBI for local programs. And if you don't cooperate, you're not getting your $1 million for this, and you're not getting and that's a lot of money to these local districts.
Jesus Christ. This shit stinks to high heaven, man. What? Trump is definitely compromised. This whole thing is so fucked. They definitely have dirt on Trump. You know, it's just like, do I have to assume these people are criminals or some way? I don't want to be too explicit with what I'm saying here because I don't want to get in trouble because YouTube cracks down on you for that. They cracked down on me for talking about Pizzagate. I don't know. Hopefully my channel lasts a while. But at the same time, it's just like, it's safe to assume many, if not all, high-ranking people in the government and plenty of people in Hollywood and plenty of people that manufacture this like culture that they just kind of infest us with, you know, all this shit, all this cultural, whatever you want to call it, this miasma out there. These people are compromised. These people are on several lists. These people had connections with Jeffrey Epstein and that whole network of predators. You know, it's safe to assume this kind of stuff, man. Everybody's lying to us. Why do they pick an Indian scam caller? Yep. Photo of Donald Trump at Epstein's private island dancing with a 13-year-old girl. Trump was in the 50s when this was taken. What kind of man does that? Yeah, this just... Jeffrey Epstein died in the Holocaust. The Epstein Victims Compensation Program, said by Jeffrey Epstein's estate, received approximately 225 applications from alleged victims. That's a lot of girls that didn't do anything with anyone. So yeah, this is riding high heaven. You know, we, the American people, need to demand answers. This is absolutely ridiculous.
According to the Department of Justice, Jeffrey Epstein was not murdered, and there was no client list. Well, that's convenient.
A new Justice Department memo reveals that the Justice Department has no evidence that convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful people or kept a client list or was murdered in prison.
When fucking Jake Tapper doesn't believe this shit, when he doesn't believe the fucking kayfabe, you know that's pretty fucking bad.
The memo, first reported by Axios, is a sharp turn from the Trump administration's insistence that there was much more to uncover. Even Attorney General...
See, that's what it was, is that they should have never said that. Like, how is it that you said that, but there was nothing to look at? Because they played this up so fucking hard for years.
Pam Bondi pushed that theory while in office. Take a look.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
So it wasn't the files. She was explicitly asked about a list, and she said, it's sitting on my desk. It is referring directly back to the question about a list.
There's so many disappointments. A lot of MAGA people are going on now about how disappointing Trump has been and what a fucking clusterfuck this administration has been and all like the backing away and all the cucking he's been doing. And this thing's just the icing on the cake. Like holding out and basically just like covering for all these predators, Jeffrey Epstein and all these creeps, you know, that really is a strong, like, fuck you to the MAGA base. I don't know why the hell they keep supporting this fucking guy. I don't understand. What are you getting out of this except just like alienating all your family members because you're defending this fucking guy who makes excuses for Israel, fucking the terrorist IDF, fucking predators like Jeffrey Epstein, fucking corrupt officials, all this shit, all the corruption and bullshit. You're still defending this fucking guy. I can't fucking believe it, man. He's in on this shit, man. And you're just Like, yeah, Trump will save they'll save Western culture, Western society is safe under Trump. I'm going to keep voting for Republicans. Give me a fucking break.
But today, the White House says she didn't really mean to suggest that the list itself was on her desk.
She was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that.
Joining us now to discuss the
Come on, Asmongold, give us something. I don't believe it either. They think we're stupid.
Who the fuck believes this shit?
Who believes this?
Who the fuck
You're right.
believes this shit? Like, what are we doing?
Some MAGA people believe this shit. Some of these MAGA uncles, they'll believe this shit. If Donald Trump tells them to eat shit, they'll eat shit. And they'll smile while they're doing it.
What are we doing? Like, it's semantics. Yeah, it's.
CNN's Evan Perez and Axios' Alex Eisenstadt, who broke the story on Axios.
Yeah.
And Alex, I have to say, I'm with the people that still have questions.
Yeah, I
about
think
this.
a lot of people
I kind
are.
of don't buy the nothing to see here. And I don't know that the Justice Department helped their case. They released this video. Let's show it. It shows no one entered the area surrounding Epstein's cell in the hours before he died. But there's something.
Where's the skip at, I wonder?
Significant about this videotape. What is it?
Well, here's one thing that some people
There's
on
a
the
minute
internet
missing.
are picking up on,
Yes.
which is that there is about a minute missing between 11:58 p.m. 58 seconds and 12 a.m. the night that Epstein was apparently killed or died. And so
the official story is that he died by suicide. That's what then Trump Attorney General Bill Barr said a few years ago.
Died. And so now there are, it's going to intensify more conspiracy theories about what happened the night of Epstein's death. And of course, you have the DOJ and FBI now, which are trying to extinguish a lot of these conspiracy theories. But that's not happened today online. If you look at the MAGAverse, they're inflamed about this.
Well,
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I wonder fucking why.
Offense to Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, but they had a hand in igniting some of these conflagrations. I mean, in February, the White House.
Yeah, they never had that. You did not.
This whole culture surrounding Trump, I'll let Asmongold talk in a minute. We're not going to watch this whole thing. We're just going to get into it a little bit. But, this whole thing, Trump and the MAGA base and conspiracies, this QAnon shit, it all goes together like fucking peanut butter and jelly, man. All this shit, this fucking culture of conspiracies and secret government ops and psyops and government control and CIA glowies, all this shit culminates in this MAGA culture that has had a stranglehold on America for the last decade. All this shit. And this is what we get. All these conspiracy dudes, all these guys who are like Trump diehards, this is what we get. Who's buying this shit? I have to ask, along with Asmongold, who's buying this shit at this point?
Not have to go so hard about saying that it was going to come out if it wasn't going to come out or you weren't sure about it. So there are two outcomes that could have happened. Outcome number one is that they didn't actually know what they were talking about and they were just talking shit. Outcome number two is that they're hiding it. Both of them are awful.
House invited these conservative MAGA influencers to get a first look at the declassified documents related to the Epstein case. Look at that, all those binders. They gave them binders that said Epstein Files Phase 1. And Evan, at the time,
apparently there's only one phase.
Wrote that this is something of a self-own for the Justice Department. Why?
It's absolutely a cell phone. It is 100% a cell phone.
It absolutely was. Those binders, those documents in those binders, all of that was public for years. And that's what the influencers found out when they opened it up.
Yeah, they're just going to feed you little things, little tidbits here and there, leave a trail of crumbs, and that's all they're going to give you. That's all they're going to give you. When it comes to actually, they build this shit up and then they give you nothing. It's just it's I don't know. It's a bunch of jacking off, but no climax. That's all this is. That's all. Now you got blue balls. Now you give it all these Trump supporters, all these conspiracy people. This is not even a right-wing thing. It's left-wing people getting involved in this because they think Trump is compromised too. It's just this whole thing. You're just telling us to go fuck ourselves. You're shoveling shit onto our plates and expecting us to say thank you. It's fucking ridiculous.
Wait a minute. All of this stuff has been out there. And the Justice Department could have helped themselves and perhaps reduce the embarrassment if they had just picked up the phone and talked to some of the prosecutors in New York and some of the FBI agents who had done this case, and they could have told them all of this stuff has been out there. But you know why they didn't do that is because they fired all these people, so they didn't have anybody to talk to.
They could have asked them afterwards.
What a fucking clusterfuck this whole thing's been. I'm not gonna watch this whole thing. I'm gonna leave it there, but it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous the kind of shit they expect you to swallow. You know, it's absolutely obscene. Let's finish up this Justin Bieber video. Go back to TikTok for a while. Let me move myself down here again.
I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza. And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer, yes? Pizza's here. Cheese, that's a cheese. Yeah. Where's Harvey Weinstein? Harvey.
Oh my God.
What was Justin?
That shit is so... It's so crazy. Let's see what this guy has to say. Is this AI? Over 30,000 readers say this book reveals the truth no one dares to publish. Follow hidden conspiracies from our truths they want to keep hidden. Looks like AI shit to me. Man, you got to really practice more discretion when it comes to this kind of stuff. Let's see what this guy has to say.
You know, one of the craziest things to me is that in American Dad, Roger, he always had on a persona, and nobody could tell that he was an alien, even though they were shitty personas. You could clearly see he's an alien. With the exception of the family, of course. I think the family can see through his personas is because he allowed them to see through his personas. Because Roger has a specific persona for each person in the family that they don't know that is him. I remember when Roger dressed up as a girl and he hooked up with Steve at a party. Steve didn't know that was Roger. He seen it as a normal human girl. Roger even has advanced alien technology that allows him to swap literal faces and skin with human beings. See, we as the audience, we can tell it's just a costume because we're in on it. But he clearly has the technology to just not be detectable by humans at all.
Where are you going with this? We're suggesting that American Dad is more than meets the eye?
All if he so chooses, even the family. And that got me thinking about real life. What if there's aliens everywhere in real life we just don't know?
How much does Seth MacFarlane know?
See through their disguises, but we as humans, we just can't tell. It's like they just walk past each other on the street and they'll look at each other. They'll be like, yeah, so you came to visit Earth too, huh? Like they over here talking to each other telepathically and everything or some shit. Because remember in Men in Black when Kay was talking to Jay?
At any given time, there are around 1,500 aliens on the planet. Most of them right here in Manhattan. And most of them are decent enough. They're just trying to make a living. Cab drivers. Not as many as you'd think. Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a...
Like, how much of this stuff, like with American Dad, I can only, like, speculate so much, but, I mean, how much of this stuff in, like, Hollywood, talking about, like, aliens in these comedy shows and these Hollywood movies, stuff like that, how much of this is just, like, somebody in the upper echelons of the American government, or somebody in Hollywood, or somebody in an industry of, you know, somebody within the industry of media control, like somebody at the levers of power of like media control, they know this kind of shit. They know there's actually non-human entities on Earth. How much is just like a wink and a nod to people? How much of this is just like, you know, maybe like a confession that's not quite a confession? Oops, sorry. But you gotta wonder, how much of these people actually know what is actually going on out there? You know, at this, it can't just be. I don't know. I think there's more to this thing. I think this is what this guy is suggesting. I want to agree with him in some way.
Good bead on things. But why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet. Imagine what you'll know tomorrow.
And it just makes you think they could really just be wearing human costumes and we just can't tell. They could have skin swapping technology to really look like a human for real. Remember when Kay took Jay to the post office and he showed them, like, you thought these was regular humans in here working? No. All of them have a suit on. One of them has a human robot suit that he's in. Like, none of them are human. But to your naked eye, you think these are just regular post workers. It even makes me think about the movie Avatar. What if they have consciousness swapping technology to where they can just put their consciousness in a human body to exist here for a little while? I really got all of this just from watching Roger in American Dad. It's like, bro, that's really what could be happening here. You know, one of the
Some wild shit, man. Some wild shit. See what this guy has to say. Okay. I'm so skeptical of this kind of shit. Can I order it on the TikTok shop? It's a book by Zechariah Sitchin. The item you are looking at is lapis lazuli with other mixtures. Hold on. I gotta look this shit up. Hang on 1 second. Zechariah Sitchin. Zechariah Sitchin. Here we go. Oop. Here we go. Lost Realms, the 12th Planet. Zechariah Sitchin credible? Sitchin's ideas have been resoundingly rejected by scientists, academics, historians, including Sumerologists, Orientalists, and Assyriologists, and anthropologists who dismiss his work as pseudoscience and pseudohistory. Zechariah Sitchin was an author of a number of books from the expectation of human origins involving ancient astronauts. Sitchin attributed the creation of the ancient Sumerian culture to the Anunnaki, which he claimed was a race of extraterrestrials from a planet beyond Neptune called Nibiru. The Anunnaki are a group of deities from ancient Mesopotamian mythology, particularly Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian cultures. They are often described as powerful gods who played various roles, including judging the dead and deciding the fate of humans. Modern interpretations, notably popularized by Zechariah Sitchin, propose that the Anunnaki were extraterrestrial beings who came to Earth to mine gold and genetically engineered humans as a slave race. Oh, brother. Here we go with all this kind of stuff. But I don't know. Here we go. Some more music industry stuff.
Please don't fuck me over, bruh. Please don't fuck me over, bruh. I literally begged that man, bruh. On the Bible, man, I begged that man and his wife not to do me like this, bro. And they literally turned around less than 48 hours later and did me exactly how I wish that they didn't, bruh. And it's like, if I don't speak up and I don't tell my story and I don't shine light on this, bro, it's gonna be people still signed to them that can't get out of these deals because people be scared to speak up. And I'm getting DMs and texts from fake investigators and people trying to call me and tell me that they know where I stay. I'm getting told that these people are part of a bloodline and I gotta be careful with the attorneys that I'm dealing with. Please don't fuck me over, bruh.
Okay.
Please don't
Okay, this is some weird stuff.
over, bruh.
I'll tell you what.
I literally...
Take a look at some of these comments here. And I remember Suki crying about the same thing. So anyone replies. Yes, I can say this is exactly why I quit pursuing a music career. It's evil and sexual. It's ungodly, and you can use your soul and family. You don't have to do it the way. You don't have to do it they way though. Let's change what we have the power to. Shit, hold on.
Please don't fuck me over.
God damn it. All right. Trying to find out. We don't need no more rappers. We need more doctors and engineers. Yep. Okay, this has to do with Ariana Grande.
they did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know?
What?
The memory erasure. They erase my memories. It's a little foggy, but
Hang on a second. Brighter Days memory erasure. Brighter Days in the context of memory erasure is likely refers to the song Brighter Days Ahead by Ariana Grande. Featured in her memory project, the project includes a visual piece on YouTube, and the concept album explores the theme of memory erasure and restoration through a fictional company called Brighter Days, Inc. The visual piece features Ariana Grande as an elderly woman undergoing a memory restoration procedure inspired by the film Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Hang on. This guy has something to say. He erased my memory at the Brighter Days clinic. The interviewer was like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? I'm glad the interviewer didn't just laugh at her joke like all yes men. Her most genuine reaction I've seen her interview in a long time. I think it was genuinely confused because she sucks at displaying sarcasm. Absolutely cooked. High on her own supply in every possible sense. It's the first time I see her report an half an unfunny joke and Joey be like, huh? What are you talking about? Obscurely referencing one of your music videos in this way, reaction clearly hasn't watched it, so it is some main character syndrome. So yeah, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just this Ariana Grande's ego getting out of control. Ugh. Some freaky stuff, man. Definitely some very freaky stuff. But I've been an hour of this. I'm going to call it quits. Ugh. But thank you all for watching. I got to eat some food. I'm a big fat guy. I'm hungry. But yeah, I might stream. Maybe put a couple of videos out later today. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below what you make of all this. And I will talk to you guys later.